Hello everyone, very good afternoon. Today we have with us Habeebullah Shaik sir, who is IPS and who is IPS posted as ACP Howrah currently. He has topped Anthro in 2022 CSE and at the same time he has got 189 rank in CSE 2022. So he's here today to interact with you and share the insights that you need for your preparation. So basically, since sir has very less time, so what we have thought is first initially three important issues he'll be discussing briefly, then he'll take up your questions so that he can address accordingly. So what we have done is we are trying to bring you the relevant people to address your queries. So you can make the best use of this opportunity. You can ask your questions in the comment section. So it'll help you. First is we'll talk about prelims, how to manage it. Then what should be your temperament during preparation. Then most of the times it is prelims versus mains in this time, right? So some people say be mains ready by January. Some people say that without prelims there is no mains at all. So most of the time students are in this dilemma whether they should be doing prelims or mains. So he'll be addressing on these three issues. So you can please look at it. Yeah.
Good morning, everyone. So, talking specifically about the important issues regards to the preparation, I would say prelims. So, what are your basic thoughts about the prelims? Why do you feel it? Do you feel it tough, or do you feel it is a easy phase? Do you feel it tough? So, if you feel tough, why? Why do you feel tough? Uncertainty of the questions, and then paper has become lengthy.
Relax.
Okay, okay. So one thing is uncertainty, right? Uncertainty. Second thing is lengthy. Then CSAT. Anything more? Then competition. Okay. Then so these are the roughly issues which you feel. So uncertainty. So today I'll not talk as a mentor or some kind of faculty. I'll just talk Nenu, but how did I feel as a aspirant? How did I saw this exam and how did I made the path easy and I have cleared? And I will only share that thing. It would not be like a teaching session, but I'll just tell you ki నేను ఎలా feel అయ్యాను exam. So this uncertainty, we as a group of 4 to 5 students, just as I said, in our peer group, we just try to understand why is UPSC asking very uncertain questions. What is the purpose? So, so we thought to understand UPSC not from a student perspective, but from the UPSC's perspective. So UPSC is a organization, constitutional body, which is for recruiting top bureaucracy in all the fields, in administration, police, revenue, railway, postal, in all the important sectors, they want the premier bureaucracy. They want to select them. and this is the task given to a organization. Now just put yourself in the shoes of UPSC. If you are the UPSC, you have given a task. You have to choose a top bureaucratic people, and there's nothing specified. What is the syllabus? Nothing has been specified by the constitution. It has only specified that you have to recruit the bureaucracy of India. So what you will think? What are the thoughts you will have? Whom to recruit? Basically, you will think I should recruit the young minds. I should recruit the smarter ones, hardworking ones, and you should ensure that your examination should not be partial to anyone in kinds of, it should not be partial to rural people, neither it should be partial to urban, it should not be partial to any medical stream guys, and it should not be partial to any arts. So it should have a examination pattern in such a way where it should answer everyone. It should cater the demands of everyone. Look, it should be an inclusive paper. ఎవరికి కూడా ఏదో ఒక పాయింట్ లో ఫేవర్ చేస్తున్నట్లు ఉండకూడదు. This is the main thing you will have in your mind. Because if they give me a paper, I'll ask 4 questions in biology. Someone who is a doctor will clear it. Engineers will be held behind. If I'm asking something related to nanotechnology, so then these guys will be going ahead and arts guys will be behind. So UPSC has got a task to ask questions in such a way which should be catering to the all streams, urban, rural, everything, and it should silently grasp the people who are the best minds of this country. So that's how they have went a step ahead. Basically, in any examination pattern, if you take from our since beginning childhood, we have been habituated to a kind of examination pattern where we are giving where we are being given a books. We read those books. We study 10 to 12 concepts. We go to the exam. 2 or 3 concepts will be asked from these 10 to 12 concepts which we have read, and we will be the person who better reads them, remembers them, and reproduces them. He gets the good marks. This is the concept we have been habituated to. This is what we know what about the exam. The concept of and the definition of exam is this. But UPSC cannot do this because when if UPSC is asking something about economy, it always has in its mind that it is doing injustice with the medicine, engineering background. If it is asking excess about the science and technology, it is having a injustice with the other streams. So they have gone to a step ahead that they are checking your aptitude. Aptitude is a trait which is common with the all the stream. It is common with the every person, irrespective of the stream he is into. Aptitude is something that every person has, and the degree of aptitude you have, the degree of adaptability you have, the degree of resilience you have, this is what they are checking. And when we have understood, so then how can a UPSC check aptitude of a person? Ultimately, they have to ask some questions. Through questions only they have to check. So behind every prelims question, there is a philosophy of UPSC which they want to check the person's resilience, the person's adaptability, the person's ability to link the things. So long story short, ఒక బ్యూరోక్రాట్ గా తెలుగు ఓకేనా ఆన్లైన్ హిందీ బెటరా ఓకే సో యాజ్ అ బ్యూరోక్రాట్ ఇక్కడ హిందీ అందరికి వస్తుందా ఓకే ఐ will do the mix. So when a person is placed as a bureaucrat, imagine he might be an IAS officer or an IPS officer or any officer, what the kind of crisis he will get. Just recently we will take a crisis of flood. If you take a flood crisis, what happens in a flood? A DM or an SP goes to a flood place without the knowledge. Let's imagine there is a place called Darjeeling, because the recent flood has happened in Darjeeling, my state. So I have been there personally, so I know that. So just imagine there is a flood in Darjeeling. Now you are a DM or SP of the place. Can you deal the situation without the knowledge of geography? When you do not know what is Darjeeling, is it dwarfs? Is it mountains? Or is it foot Himalayas? Or is it plain? Or is it a desert? And if you do not know the concept like पानी desert में कैसे होता है, what the property of water in desert, property of water in soil, property of water in plains. If you do not understand the dynamics, you cannot be of help in the flood situation. I'm just taking a one example of floods. So you should have a knowledge of geography. And how will you help them when you do not know who comes at which place? A disaster management comes at the place of rescuing them. It is a political structure. A DM comes at a specific place. A policeman comes at a specific place. A politician comes at the specific place. Who will decide everything? It is polity. So without the knowledge of polity, you cannot do anything. And uh, can you just go pick the people, bring them out in the flood? It is not possible. You have to understand the erratics of the flood, what flow it is flowing, and from where it is being started. River stream कौन सा है, and if the river stream is collecting water from which regions, because you have to coordinate with the person who is responsible at that region to either stop the water there temporarily if he is not into the danger, and then you will regulate the things. So it is all about the management you have. So then the knowledge of polity, geography, and without knowing the history of flood in that district, when you know the history of flood in the district, you know where the rehabilitation centers have been. The history comes more into the play when you deal with the complex issues like political issues. When resentments happen, Andhra Telangana issue happen. When a bureaucrat comes from North India or some Northeast India, if he doesn't understand the dynamics of Andhra Pradesh and Telangana, he cannot handle the situation of protest going on in 2013 or 14. You have to understand the history to tackle the present situation. So history, that becomes important. Environment, without environment you cannot tackle anything else. And science and technology helps you to bring modern methods. You, when you know the procedure of dredging, you dredge the river and you try to save it. When there is a nuclear accident, you know what is the dynamics of nuclear reactor. Then you get into the play. You doesn't need to be a master in that, but you should be in a position because you are in a commanding position. When people who are responsible for the nuclear station, or when the people responsible for a irrigation project come to you, you cannot be blind and just say that ki yaar bacha lo, ye do just happened. You cannot say that. You have to have a basic knowledge. That is what we are learning. You are having the basic knowledge of every subject. This is what helps you as an officer. So when UPSC had a question ki on which subjects we should test them, so they are testing you on those subjects which will make you a bureaucrat. And this is not just an exam to give you a job. This is an exam to make a bureaucrat for this country, a bureaucrat who can handle the crisis of this nation. So this is the first thing sorted. Second thing, the process of examination. I do not have a question paper here immediately, but I remember a question in 2020. In 2020, there was a question called Copper Smith Barbet Ceylon Frogmouth. And there is another one, two species. They have given the names of these species, and they have asked the this thing that these species which are found in Indian biodiversity are which species? Options were apes, reptiles, birds. Fourth was something, I think, mammals or something. I do not exactly remember, but I am just trying to tell you the principle behind the questions. So not factually this thing. The question was this, and now you will all read Shankar, you will all read PMF for environment. You will never read this species. Neither you have been come across this species. But in exam they have asked, this is the uncertainty. This is the uncertainty you are talking about. Now they can just simply ask these two species and they can say ये कौन से species है. इधे ना ठीक है. Copper Smith Barbet Ceylon Ceylon frog mouth. Okay. So uncertainty comes when you have not seen the question anywhere in your preparation. You have not saw that question and first time you are seeing in the examination paper. This is how uncertainty comes. But the whole story which I have told you, UPSC wants to test your aptitude or the capability. It comes to the play now. It can simply ask, it can give these two species and it can simply say uh, this belongs to which species. And they doesn't need to mention this word Indian biodiversity, but they have mentioned Indian biodiversity. Now UPSC wants you to apply your mind over the book. Just like I have told you, our conventional examinations ask you from the book. UPSC will ask you around the book. Because if they are asking you from the book, it is just a university examination. It is just a examination where someone who have mug up all the facts, he will clear. But UPSC's aim is not that. UPSC do not want to select the people who are good at by hearting. UPSC and does not want to favor any stream. So UPSC asks the questions around this. You understand that there is some species called coppersmith barbet. There is some species called Ceylon frogmouth. There are some species, but you do not know which species is that. And they have asked you Indian biodiversity. You know what are apes? Apes are monkeys. You know what are mammals, and you know what are birds, and you know what are reptiles. You got this basic understanding from reading this PMF environment. This understanding has already been developed. Now they are not asking you from the. Now they are asking you to apply your mind. So can anyone tell me, like, how can you solve this question? This is the uncertainty. If you have given prelims, you will understand. Questions are all will be like this. You do not know the question, but you know the options. You have some or other way read the options. ఇవన్నీ మీరు ఏదో బుక్ లో చదివే ఉంటారు, ఆప్షన్స్ తెలుసుంటాయి కానీ క్వశ్చన్ మీకు తెలియదు. అక్కడే అన్సర్టెనిటీ వస్తుంది అండ్ యూ స్టార్ట్ గెస్సింగ్. సో వాట్ వీ హ్యావ్ అండర్స్టూడ్, I am just taking one example, but every question has some more philosophy like this. Coppersmith is a profession. Coppersmith is a profession. Just think about that. I have read all the environment books, PMF, Shankar. What are the species which have profession names? Woodpecker, Baya weaver, coppersmith, kingfisher. Mostly these profession names are given to those animals which have professional capability in their habitat. That some bird goes and pecks the bark, so it is given a woodpecker. There is a bird called Baya weaver. It weaves a nest, so it has been given a name similar to a profession. मतलब ఆ ఆర్టిస్టిక్ స్కిల్ ఎప్పుడైతే ఒక బయాలజిస్ట్ చూసాడో బర్డ్స్ లో, he has given that. So he is given a name that he is good at weaving, so it's a Baya weaver bird. It is good at pecking, so it's a woodpecker. So kingfisher, so it is very good in fishing, so it is called kingfisher. That's how I somehow get the knowledge that coppersmith is a kind of profession given to an animal. Like there is some species, ఏదో species ఉంది, అది coppersmith లాంటి ఏదో వర్క్ చేస్తుంది. That's why it has been given. This knowledge I will not get without reading the book. So that is what I am telling you, is there is no substitute for hard work. You have to read all the books. You have to read all the books. But after that, what is needed? What you need is aptitude, which is being checked by the UPSCs. You have to think in this way. Coppersmith is some kind of profession given to some animal. Then you have to think which is the, just like I have told you. So some or other way you get in a mind that it might be a bird, might be a bird. Then come to the second option, Ceylon. What is Ceylon? Sri Lanka. And a person who is not preparing for UPSC, can he know that Ceylon is an older name for Sri Lanka? No. They expect that you read history book. Then only you can know that Ceylon is the British name for Sri Lanka. When they could not spell Sri Lanka in Sinhalese, they have given Ceylon. So you just imagine, there is a biologist from British. Maximum 90% of the names are given by the biologist of British biologist. This also you will understand by reading the books only. A person has given a species name with the name of Sri Lanka. So what does that imply? तो उसने उसको श्रीलंका में देखा है. The specific thing is that he has spotted this in Sri Lanka. Simple, right? Malabar civet ఏదో ఉంటుంది కదా, Malabar civet, Nicobarese megapod. Why they have given those names? Because they have spotted that in that location. Now with a basic geography knowledge, you know that Sri Lanka and India share water boundary. You know this. And with a rough guess, I can understand there is some kind of species which is been spotted in Sri Lanka and it has been given Ceylon frogmouth. So now you can just guess it. Can apes cross the water boundary? Naturally they can't. If they can, we could have seen kangaroos in Ashoknagar. We are not able to see kangaroos because they do not have a capability to cross the water. Can reptiles cross the water boundary? Can reptiles swim and cross the land boundaries of water? No. Now mammals. So by two logics, and these logics are not some kind of I did not make any magic here. I have guessed this intellectually from the whole knowledge which I have done. Are you with me? You understood what I am trying to tell you? So I do not say every question will be like this. At least 40 to 50 questions in prelims will be questions which you can solve it by yourself. But you cannot clear the exam with this. You need this extra 20 questions which you have to use this aptitude. And they have wantedly given you Indian biodiversity to help you to take out your knowledge that there is some species that has been spotted in Sri Lanka, but it is also found in India. Only birds do this kind of things. They fly from Siberia, they come to Andhra Pradesh for breeding, and they again go to New Zealand. So birds have this kind of this thing. So they want you to understand the habitats of the animals. Birds importance when you understand that birds you cannot treat birds as a localized species. You have to treat them as an international species. So that's how you conserve them. That's how you anything if you want to construct a big building, if you want to construct a cell tower, you have to have a consideration of birds. So this is what the basic understanding they want you to understand and they expect from you. This is the aptitude they expect. And any question you take, you can take any question regardless to the subject. Some or other kind of philosophy is hidden. So this uncertainty answered. Uncertainty is important for the prelims. I'm telling you, if they give all the questions just like a university exam, cutoffs will go to 150, 160, and UPSC will become a just another NEET exam or 10th class exam where people will be scoring 190, 191, 192, 193, and the competition gets erupted. Scramble అయిపోతుంది. The people who actually have the capability to become bureaucrats, they will do. But I'm not telling you that this is the most objective way. But this is the most objective way which UPSC has found till now. So any question you can take, you can pick any question. It has some kind of philosophy like this, and this kind of philosophy you can only understand when you dwell deep into the questions. You just take the PYQs, sit with the PYQs, ask why this question being asked, and I'll tell you the logic why UPSC wants you to solve in this way. You, a person as a crisis manager in the district, will not have any ready-made solutions with you. When a bus catches a fire in Kurnool district, or when a Darjeeling gets a flood, or when a Hindu-Muslim riot happens in Jangipur or West Bengal, there are no ready-made solutions. Habib, you are SP of this district, do these steps, 10 steps, and solve it. Then what is the need of you? You do not play any kind of niche here. So your niche is, you know things, you know the subject, you have a basic knowledge. You know that there is a Muslim community, there is a Hindu community. You know that the reason why the skirmishes are being happened, and you know what are the solution. You have to link the things. This is how bureaucratic work. So UPSC is also testing the same thing from you. So uncertainty is being answered here. You should never think uncertainty as your negative, and uncertainty is the one thing that is saving the UPSC exam from other exams. Otherwise, this would have just become a exam of court cases. Because when a simple questions are being asked, there are a lot of interpretations. They'll just say, yeah, this book has this answer, that book has this answer. They'll go to High Court, they'll go to Supreme Court, and this exam will never happen. But UPSC is the only examination in India which happens regularly in a specific time, never gets into any kind of allegations, never gets into any kind of malpractices largely. So the logic behind this is the same thing. They go very objectively. So this is uncertainty is answered there. Lengthy is also they want you in a real bureaucratic setup. You will have, मान लो मेरा ही अगर मैं एग्जांपल ले रहा हूँ, my example, I went to the district Alipurduar, which is just beside the Darjeeling as a probationer. My SP sir gave me 200 POCSO judgments to me and told that morning you just give me an analysis of all these judgments, and he gave me at 7 o'clock in the evening, and he told me that morning 10 o'clock you just give me that in 200 POCSO cases whether the victim already know the accused or not, and if he knows the accused, then tell me the what is the triggering factor that has actually resulted in the crime. And he also asked me that how many cases are fake, how many cases are real. Without reading the judgment, you cannot not understand that. And bureaucratic life is that you have to read lot of things. You get lot of memos, you get lot of high court papers, you get lot of commissionerate, lot of papers. So ethics is also coming in a very lengthy way. The logic behind that is ethics cannot be structured. Ethics is not something that you sit there, you give up points and all. That's why they bombard you with a big question so that the natural instinct from you comes out and you try to write a natural answers. So this way they are giving you lengthy papers. So it is a way of testing you. These are all different ways to test you, which will make them a new way other than the knowledge. So lengthy is also the same thing. And CSAT coming from a biological background, I had friends who were from IITs and who are from NITs. They used to do it. They never used to get marks less than 120. And I was the person in the first attempt I got 50 marks because I tried to attempt every question. I used to start a question. I never used to get an answer for that. Even if I get an answer, I'm not sure about it whether it is A or C or D or D. And I used to put those answers also, and after wasting 5 to 7 minutes at a sum, still I am not getting any answer. So my 10 minutes has been gone. So I used to attempt in an erratic way, 50 60 I have been attempting them, 25 30 are getting wrong, and again I am going into 50. This is the common trend happens with the 90% of the aspirants, and after coming from the exam they will just say prelims तो अच्छा हुआ है लेकिन CSAT गया. CSAT they are not, it is not a competitive exam because they do not want you to test with the CAT people. You know, when we have IPS people, we have a training, 15 days training with the IIM Ahmedabad. I went there and people in IIM also preparing for UPSC. And can you compete with IIM people in CSAT? You can never. They are 99.9 percentile guys. They can get 180 in CSAT. That is why they have given a basic thing, 33%. It's just a qualifying. Now, what is the most important thing in CSAT is this also, as a friend group, we have understood CSAT also, like how to solve the CSAT. CSAT is not about how many questions you are attempting. CSAT is about how many questions, how many good questions you are choosing. CSAT is all about choosing, because this is again a philosophy of UPSC. UPSC who wants to put you in a situation where you have lot of things but you have to choose. You have 10 people for with you, but there is a situation where you have to handle. मान लो election का भी SIR चल revision जो चल रहा है, you have 10 people with you, 10 HDMs. If you are a collector, if I am an SP, I have 10 DYSPs with me, but I want to choose a perfect person to the job. This is your job. In the ground, IAS, IPS do not directly go to the ground and work. They are managers. They will choose a perfect person who is suitable for this job. This choosing is a very important, and this is a major leadership quality. You get 80 questions. 25 to 28 are comprehension passages. At least I think 20 to 25 are reasoning, and rest 20 to 25 are math. I will tell my strategy, but I will not completely suggest you to replicate it. Mine was very risky strategy because I was very poor in math. So I never used to touch these math except the questions of averages, ratios, which can be easily solved by anyone. 6th, 7th class people also can solve because they just give like 4 people are there, their age is 30, 31, 32, 33, what is the average age? इतना तो कर सकते हैं सब लोग. Other than that, these permutation combinations, and they give a number 8 to the power of 888. All these questions I used to leave. By looking at the question, I used to leave because that is not my niche. And so there might be students who have a very comfortable space with those questions, number system, permutation, combinations, trigonometry. They can you do that. But my strategy is that I do not used to, or I was never used to do math, so I did not touch them. And comprehension passages before the exam, at least 600 passages are there in PYQ range, starting from 13 to 21 when I appeared, and adding these with the good coaching institutions which are giving a good kind of passages which are very similar to the UPSC pattern. 600 passages I have solved before going to the prelims, so that even by mistake also you cannot make mistake if you solve 600 questions of UPSC comprehension passages. And comprehension passages, there is lot of minute differences. They'll ask you what is the corollary of this passage, what is the crux of this passage, what are the assumptions. There is a difference between all these things. When you solve lot of questions, you will get that knack to understand the passage. So my strong point was passages. I used to attempt 28 passages in the paper, but I will choose best of my 24 or 25. Some questions, some passages I will be thinking कि ये भी सही है, ये भी सही है. So I will be attempting some 24 or 25. Let's assume 25, 24. Rest reasoning. Questions in the reasoning you can understand, like they have given you x, y, z is apple. What is this? तो ये तो बस alphabets को number डाल के निकालना है. And they give you the person is going in north, left, right. Do you need math for this? You do not need math for this. For the puzzles, for those table things, A, B, C, D, he likes math. He plays football. These kind of questions. That is also not math. That is also reasoning. By basic learning, you will get to understand that. So I used to compliment near about some 16. Damn sure, I'll be very sure with those कि मतलब ये तो गलत होगा ही नहीं. ऐसे वाले questions मान लो 16, 40. In this 40, if my accuracy is, let's assume, if I do a mistake of 10, still I am in. Already I am choosing the questions. Already I have filtered, hugely I have filtered. I have only attempted those questions which I am very sure, because the negative in CSAT is very high. CSAT gives a one positive question 2.5, but one negative question it will be 1 by third. So when a 2.5 ka is 0. Some 8 something around, I think, yeah, 0.8. So roughly around 0.8 plus 2.5. So it becomes 3 point something. So one wrong question will make you lose 3 point or 3.2. One correct question will get you 3.3. And ultimately you have to get the same 66.6. So it is all about choosing. Learn how to choose the questions and learn how to comfortably leave the questions, which will waste your time. A second or a minute saved in CSAT can be used in your strong points. So that's how I have tackled CSAT. And in the real and the attempt which I have cleared, I have only attempted 38 in CSAT. That's why I'm telling you I do not suggest this strategy, because I have formulated this after number of revisions, that I have only made 4 mistakes in this passages. So it was 31 around. So I got good marks only, 85 something around. So this CSAT is static versus CA. Static and CA should not separate it. Static and CA should be coupled. Tell me some recent current affair. I'll just tell you with an example, which you guys have read recently, which you feel is an important current affair. Cyclone. So the recent cyclone should never be seen as a current affair. You have to link this cyclone, the process of cyclone, types of cyclone, what are the differences between tropical cyclones and the temperate cyclones, how a cyclone is being made, and you should go behind, like in PYQs there are a lot of questions about cyclones. In the mid of the cyclone, the temperature differences are there, pressure differences are there, why is this being formed, what are the different names of cyclones at different places. So you have to learn the current affair by inducting it into the static. So that's the solution for this thing. There is nothing called static separate or current affair separate until unless there are something like some defense exercise is there. Uska naam kuch hai, Python or something. You cannot link it with the static thing. That you have to mug up. And there is some new national park has come out, Kaval National Park or something, or that you have to mug up. Few things you have to mug up, and that is, I do not say unfortunate, but it is there. But most of the times you should link the static with the current affairs. Choosing of the questions, the same strategy of CSAT. You have to choose which you are the questions in which you are 100% sure. Anyways, you will choose them. And the questions which you are 50-50, you have to take an intellectual guess based on the way which I have guessed the question of the reptiles, apes wala question. जिस तरह से मैंने देखा था, you can just do that. So and I would say your attempts should be between 85 to 95 if you are a general category, and if you are a OBC or something, it can be 85 to 90. But this should be an average range, and do not go less than 85 or less than 80 and expect a clearing of prelims, because scientifically and empirically suit nahi hota hai, and still there are exceptions. I had one friend in my coaching this thing Jamia who used to attempt only 70 every year but used to comfortably clear. So that level of accuracy is not possible in prelims. So go with this. Intellectual guessing should be there. Competition. Should you really care about the competition? You are the competition from some other person. He should care. You should never care. When I was attempting the paper, when I was in college, I used to think about all these things. I used to calculate. उस टाइम पे 7-8 lakhs देते थे, तो we used to sit and see कि 7 lakh people are giving in that, 200 people would be from AIMS, 500 people would be from IITs, so where I am, how much, doesn't matter. All these things doesn't matter. UPSC, if you are sincere, if you do not cheat yourself in preparation, and if you are with the right strategy, right mentor, right place of guidance, once you get the rank, you will realize that what the way you have traveled. When I got 189 rank, it is that I am 189th person in the 10 lakh people who have applied. But this I will only realize when I cleared it. If I keep on thinking about this, I would never reach here. Once you come there, you will be shocked. You will be 8th rank, 9th rank. It is very much possible. So competition, you should never fear the competition, because you are the competition. If you are fearing the competition, it means you are placing yourself in a lower pedestal and you are keeping someone else in the higher pedestal and thinking that he is a competitor for me. It's not like that. Every year, at least 400 people who are already in the rank, they appear the examination. So if you calculate all these things, then you can never be in the top 400. You will think the people who are already clear, they will come to the top 400. But it is not the case. You can see in top 100 always at least 60 people will be new people. So it's not the case. Never think about the competition, because a simple thing, you are the competition. Emotional intelligence or emotional management, I would say, this is very important. Prelims, when you start the examination, you get, imagine, you get some 10 tough questions, and then you do not attempt any one of them. All your OMR is empty. Then you lose your confidence. And with this loosened confidence or a reduced morale, if you start answering the other questions, you will not remember what you actually have to remember, or which you are capable to remember. So that's why what I did is I used to go with my very comfortable subjects. I used to start with polity, I used to do economy, geography, then go with the environment, science and technology. Lastly, I used to come to history, because history was very dicey at that time. I do not know how it is now. So this way it used to give me a comfort zone. So go with the comfort zone and have a strong emotional quotient with you, that even if you are not able to solve 30 questions in the first half an hour, and your first half an hour is gone, and you have not even put a one right answer, or if you have put 2 to 3 questions, that too you are not sure, still you have a chance. Who knows, next 1.5 hour might be yours. So always keep that faith, have a huge confidence. So I keep on telling this to my batchmates and my juniors who ask me. When I was a student, just like you, preparing for the UPSC, coming from a local college from Hyderabad, when I used to think that there are few students who are from big colleges, big names, big courses, big economic backgrounds, those are the special breed. They clear the UPSC, and we are not someone who are having the capability or who are made to clear UPSC. This mindset is always there with us, coming from a middle class, lower middle class families coming from a south, where not a big colleges. We always have this mentality. But after getting into the service, for the forensic classes, we have been to Gandhi Medical College. For the this forensic classes, we went to NFSU. It's a one of the biggest university in one of the topmost university in world for forensics in Gujarat. And when we have gone to IIM Ahmedabad, and when we have interacted with the topmost minds of this country, what is the difference between them and us is the only confidence. When a person coming from these background which we are thinking, he will start the preparation with a point that मैं तो clear कर रहा हूँ, I am clearing the exam, I am the top cream of this exam of this country, so why will I not be clearing? He is starting with a upper pedestal and we are starting with a lower pedestal. We are starting with a pedestal कि बहुत competition है, मैं तो मेरा इतना basic भी अच्छा नहीं है, my 10th is not good, my graduation is not strong. We start with this lower pedestal, they start with the upper pedestal. So when you crack down all these pedestals and when you have a huge confidence in you, say people might be saying he is very overconfident. That overconfidence should not uh, tamper or hamper your preparation, but you should have a sufficient confidence to keep you moving. Assume that confidence is the fuel for your preparation. So that's what I would end with regards to the prelims. ఎక్కువ టైం అయిపోయిందా పర్లేదా?
So, this thing, like what should be the temperament?
So the temperament, any specific questions in regards to temperament? Like, so basic temperament in UPSC is, I would say, UPSC is not a short race; it's a marathon.
If I
Well,
can ask one of the question of the
yeah,
student,
yeah.
it is that he has started the preparation, but he is not been able to be consistent in the preparation.
Why for the UPSC? If you are not clear with the why UPSC, you will feel demotivated every second day. You will feel inconsistent. मान लो if I am the person, I know why of the UPSC, why I should clear the UPSC, then I might be distracted for one day, I might be distracted for second day, I might be distracted for 1 month because of any of my personal issues. But some or other day I'll come back to the UPSC because this why will keep me moving. So if you do not have this why, then your preparation will get lot of potholes and lot of errors. So you should have a strong why. Many people have whys like my parents told me, and they have people who have cleared this with this why. They want to make their parents happy. They want to see their parents happy. They want to see the happiness in their eyes that my son has cleared UPSC. Because of this, they cleared. But it is some kind of why. They have a why. And there are people like me, I wanted to become a police. I wanted to see myself in uniform. I wanted to roam on the roads with a uniform. I wanted to be the first person to solve the problems. A person who is lying on the road with injuries, I will be the person to take him to the hospital. A girl who is being harassed by his own parents or harassed by his own family members or anyone on the road, I will be the person when I solve them. I can see the, maybe I am not giving them a long term solution, but temporarily, if I arrest the accused or if I restrain the accused, of at least if I hear them and if I file the FIR, I can see the happiness in their eyes. They feel that just because I am weak, I am not being vulnerable in this society, there is someone who is with me. It can be a policeman, it can be anyone. So this satisfaction in the job will keep me moving for the rest 30 days, 30 years. I have decided that with myself. I have thought that in any other job I will be doing a mundane work where I will be going to the office, I will be doing something, and I will be coming to the home. I will not be having any linkage with the people, general public. I will not be in the current trend what is happening. So I always thought that if I become a policeman, I'll be in these things. So some kind of why. I'm not telling you your why is right, your why is wrong. I'm just telling you should have some kind of why. That should keep you moving. So, and many people they have a why that they want to earn money, good money. There are people who want to earn power, lot of power. There is lot of power in UPSC. When you become a, just imagine when you become a SP of a district, because I am from a police perspective, I am telling in police. There's nothing which you cannot do. You can do anything. You want a road to be laid, you can talk to the DM, or DM can get the road laid with the funds he has. You want to help someone, you can help. You want to file a case on some issue, you can file a case. You want to give a student money to study his higher education or sponsor his higher education, you can do it through the government. All the good work you can do. So there's nothing impossible if you want, if your intentions are good. So that's a huge power. It comes with lot of responsibility, that is always there. So for some people go for power, some people go for social status. There is some kind of why. So if you do not, the answer for that question is that why he is not consistent, because there is something that is stopping him from not being consistent, because that is the deficit with his why. That is the case. And this why will keep you the discipline. And discipline is something which is indispensable. I have not seen people who are clearing this exam or cleared this exam without the iota of discipline. This is sine qua non for the preparation. The discipline patterns can be different. So I used to wake up at 12 o'clock and I used to study till 3 o'clock, because with the conditions of Delhi, that it was winters, summers, and there can be people who are like studying from 4 o'clock in the morning, sleeping in the 9 o'clock. Some kind of discipline is there. There are people who are writing answers monthly once, or there are people who are writing answers weekly once. But there is a discipline. If he is writing monthly once, he is writing monthly once for the every month. It's not like that he is writing this month and he is not writing the other month. And if he is writing for weekly and he is writing the weekly for the every week. So discipline is important. So discipline and why will keep your preparation moving. And coming to the temperament, UPSC is marathon. It's not a 100-meter race. Patience is required. A decent, good preparation requires 1 to 2 years, and the examination duration is 1 year. So roughly it is 2 to 3 years. In this 2 to 3 years, you can get a degree. If you go and apply anywhere, you can get a degree 2 to 3 years. And if you are doing any skill courses, interior designing, any hospitality, if you want to set up a business, at least you will break even at 2 to 3 years. So that is what I told you. There is an opportunity cost. There's a huge opportunity cost. Many people come to the UPSC market, but many people leave in middle and they just go back. Many people come because they just want to call themselves as UPSC aspirant. I have seen people who are putting Instagram statuses or bio as UPSC aspirant. This is not a designation to put or something to boast. And the temperament is patience. There should be patience. First point, I would say there should be huge patience. Second point, I should say you should be self-critical and receptive to the criticism. People, your mentors, your friends will tell you that you are not doing this thing right or you are not doing this thing right. You should never think कि इसका तो मतलब he did not clear prelims and he is suggesting me I will not take this thing, or this sir has not given interview for himself and he is telling us how to prepare for interview. Then we will be here on. If you are in a mindset that I will only listen to the people who have cleared the exam, the person who clears the exam also doesn't know what has worked for him. He just clears because there is a major chunk of luck involved in this exam, even after doing everything. I know many friends. I was just talking to Shiva that I know a friend. If he gets to see this session, he can relate. He has given 9 attempts in OBC, 9 mains, 4 interviews, and he has not got any service. And he was the person who has at least mentored or who has advised at least 50 successful IAS. But in the end, he did not clear anything. But this major chunk of luck was not in his favor. And he was not at all deficit in knowledge, not at all deficit in any capability. And this luck, if it doesn't favor you one time, some or other time it will favor. And he has cleared forest. He did not clear UPSC, but he has cleared forest in his 7th attempt. And he is the last person in OBC. Even if he had got 1 mark less, his complete career would have been ended without getting a selection. But a person like him who is like very sincere with the UPSC will succeed either in UPSC or other parts of life. So patience, self-criticism is the temperament unit. And third thing, I would say this is very much important. Resilience. There is one thing like we always used to talk within ourselves. There is no permanent success and permanent failure in UPSC preparation. Permanent success is getting selected. Permanent failure is completely quitting the UPSC. You have cleared prelims. You will think this is a success, but that's not a success because within 3 months there will be another result that will decide your success again. And if you clear mains, then that is not the success. Again, within 4 months there will be a result. And if you fail, that is not a failure because again you will have a prelims. So you should be ready for this kind of erratic turbulence in your life in UPSC. There will be a huge turbulence. When I did not clear prelims for two attempts, so when at a point I thought ki maybe I should go back. I should not be living in this Delhi, which is a very polluted place to live. And for South Indians, it becomes even difficult because of the food, because of the peer group. Also, you won't get in such a way which is conducive to us. Every day, I used to think, I think I should be going back and I should be doing my own practice, or I will prepare from myself. So these little failures and little successes, just clearing one's prelims or clearing one's mains, should not excite you, and these little failures should not devastate you because it is a long process. So you should always keep that in that else. And prelims versus mains, I would say this preparation should be always integrated. It should not be separate. Main should be given. I think you should actually prepare for mains only, but it should be complemented with the prelims. Like I'll just tell you the question. They can ask you role of mangroves in disaster management. This can be a question. So you should actually be role of mangroves in disaster management. Your preparation should be definition of mangroves, salt resistant, tidal, uh, tropical plants, aerotic leaves, roots. Your definition. In this definition, you are preparing for prelims also. And you will have a point that mangroves will stop the tides, mangroves will balance the buffer, mangroves is a host for a lot of flora fauna. These are all prelims only, but you should prepare in a such a way that you are able to write a mains. So person who is preparing for prelims he may not be writing mains, matlab he may not be ready to write the mains, but who is preparing for mains, he will definitely be writing prelims. He is ready to write a prelims, but the little more attention should be given to the prelims in remembering the facts, in memorizing the things which are prelims specific articles वगैरह. So your preparation should be integrated, it should not be separate. At least I believe that it should not be separate, it should be integrated. So any question, one two questions we can take. Or for book list and all, I have a small Instagram account. I have just put my own book list which has worked for me. You can follow it. I have put in a story highlight UPSC preparation. I have given my UPSC Joe talks. I have given one in inauguration office. That also I have compiled, and I have written a small blog in Mudit Jain. Some or other way where I have written, I have compiled it in my mark list. Anything which I can offer to the aspirants, I have put it in one place. You can just sometime if you feel it is required, you can just follow it and you can ask questions there. It's up to you, and anything you can ask now if you have any one or two questions. Otherwise, we'll
Any doubts? So I think Sir has given you a very good clarity regarding how you can be consistent and what exactly the attitude that you should have towards the exam during your preparation. And it's not about prelims versus mains, it is prelims plus mains. So it is not segregation, rather it's integration, what Sir has highlighted. And I think this would be helpful in your journey, and will be keep coming up with many more rankers to help you with how you can prepare your prelims and mains. And very soon we are having on 7th with All India rank 169 Vineet sir. So he'll also tell you on specific topic that how to balance your general studies with anthropology in the coming 100 days. So what should be your approach? And sir will also be there to solve your doubts whenever you need. I'll be sharing sir's details in the group, so you can follow the ID regarding his social media platform. Okay. So see you all. Thanks for being with us. Thank you.
Thank you. All the best.